Hi, my name is LeBron Marshall. I'm 17 years old and I'm a senior at Weaver High School. I was born in Florida, grew up in Hartford, Connecticut at the time, and moved around in New York with my grandparents and mom. And I feel like my living situation, it was hard and it was good at times. I feel like it was obstacles that I had to face physically and mentally. Figuring out my sexuality. Yeah. When I was younger, I knew about the marathon somewhat. I'm not gonna lie, I knew about it to an extent, but I just started to get involved this year. So probably when I was around 8, 9. My thoughts about the marathon, I feel like it's a good way to raise money for organizations. It's a good way to relieve mental health and physical health. And when I found out about the opportunity, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I'm like, it's gonna be fun. And I feel like I'm going to make a difference. Only because I'm a Weaver student and I feel like there's not a lot of Weaver kids that would do that, especially because the journalism and media pathway just got opened. So I said in my head it's gonna be a fun experience. I thought, if I'm gonna be completely honest, it's not I thought it was gonna be boring. I didn't think I was gonna have as much fun and feel the way I did at the marathon. I'm not gonna lie, I was happy, especially when I saw little kids running, and I didn't know that little 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, little girls, little boys were gonna be running. So I feel good, not gonna lie. Yeah, I do cheerleading, but it be for the fun of games. Because with the marathon, if I'm seeing a little 9-year-old girl that can run it, I can most definitely run it. And I'm 17 at my big age, I can most definitely run a marathon. And I feel what I'll do to prepare, probably this year now, since it's 2022, and then the marathon coming up in 2023, I'll just prep my body and my mind so I don't, fall over and whatnot. So, yeah. Some highlights was most definitely the wheelchair race. What would I like to say to the Hartford Marathon Foundation? I know I would say thank you for the media pass, only because it was a great opportunity. I figured out some things about myself, and before I never really thought I would run a marathon, but after watching, I'm like, okay, it seems fun. But when it comes to the media pathway, and not even with the whole cameras, especially if you're gonna be on camera, be yourself. Don't put on a facade to be serious. Of course you're gonna have to be serious, but show your personality. Don't be bland. If you're weird, be weird. If you're nonchalant, then be nonchalant. Don't pretend to be something you're not. My experience, it was fun. It was fun. I know I keep saying it was fun, but it's actually it was the first time that I actually felt exhilarated with joy in a long time. Yeah, especially because I was with my best friend, so it was nice. I didn't face any hardships on that day. Probably when I was cheering a lot, but it was okay because it was for a good cause. When I tell you, I kid you not, the hunger that I had to face, it was tempted. I saw a Dunkin' Donuts, I was like, dang, I low-key want a bagel or a donut, but I just had to keep interviewing people just because good cause, might as well just get it out the way. And I'm not gonna lie, as I was interviewing more people, the hunger was starting to lose, but I was still hungry. I was so hungry, so yeah, got beers that day. It was great. It was great. Thank you. I feel my teammates supported me, especially with the interviewing thing, because I feel most of the time I would talk a lot, and I feel after my teammates, they would critique me, and I really took that in. And then for the next interview, I got all that information that was given to me, analyzed myself, and I was prepared for the next interview. And I feel with the cameras, with my teammates Sebastian, Jamila, it was fun, and I feel they got great angles and whatnot, so yeah. And the journalism and media pathway, you're gonna have to show everything, not say I'm having an attitude, but show that. I feel I learned that behind a face, there's a story, if that makes sense. I realized that some people run for organizations, some people run just for fun, but I realized people do have stories. So from the day that I spoke to the journalist, I learned that basically in life, I'm gonna face obstacles and challenges. Not everybody is going to listen to me, so I have to be outspoken as I am now. If I have an idea, don't let it be shut and tell it to everybody, if that makes sense. Yeah. Something I hope to learn moving forward, patience, for sure. Because I feel don't get me wrong, at times I do have an attitude, and I feel at times I need to understand everybody else's perspective before I talk. Because I feel during the process of filming or whatever, I would get irritated, and I wasn't really looking at everyone's emotions or whatever, or listening to them to an extent. And I'm not really like that per se, so most definitely patience. Out of all the advice that I received, the most important advice that I received was most definitely be yourself. I know I said that before, but genuinely be yourself. And I feel like in high school, at Weaver per se, I feel like some kids kind of put up a facade, only wanting to be liked. And unfortunately, I feel like last year I was one of those people, because my junior year was like my first year of high school, and like I'm new, I'm learning things about myself, I'm having an identity crisis, so I just wanted to be liked per se. Something that a student at Weaver will need to do what I did at the marathon is confidence and like communication skills, and just like, you know, being comfortable to talk to strangers, I guess. Leadership skills for sure, because I feel like I know how to be a leader, but I feel like at times I get carried away. I'm comfortable being in front of a camera, and the reason why, just because like I want to be an actor, but however, it's to an extent only because I feel like with certain questions, like I kind of just get starstruck and uncomfortable. But however, I feel like it's okay to be uncomfortable, because I feel like I came to realize that I have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Me per se, seeing members of the LGBTQ plus as couples, like seeing them run, I was like, wow. Not like I was shocked, but I was just like awe per se, only because I feel like in Hartford there's like a lot of like homophobic stigma around a gay boy or gay girl, mainly gay boys, unfortunately. And I feel like me seeing that, I was just like, okay, so I'm gonna do my big one. Like if anything, later on in the years, if I come back to Connecticut, because I'm gonna be going out of state for college, I'll run with my boyfriend or husband or whatever the case is. Unfortunately, there wasn't really enough diversity as I wanted there to be. There were Hispanics, which I loved that. There were only a few amount of black people, which was like unfortunate. I never really saw like a lot of people like my skin color. Like yeah, like I saw like little girls and like little boys running with like their families, but it really wasn't a lot from like everyone else. Like everyone else was like white, or yeah, white or Asian, but it was like a literally small percent. Like it was probably like 3-4 families, and that's unfortunate. I feel like moving on, I feel like there's a lot of African American runners, a lot of black families that would like to run, and I feel like we need to start advertising and giving them the opportunity to, so it could be more diverse, especially like it's Hartford, Connecticut at that. So yeah. Something weird about me is I genuinely do like when my phone dies, only because like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like earlier, when my phone died, like I was actually like in the moment, like I took pictures earlier, but I didn't take pictures, I didn't take like videos, like I was genuinely like living in the moment with like my girlies, like Ashira, Alicia, and Taylor, and it felt kind of fun, only because like, you know, college is coming up and like it's my senior year, so yeah.
Hustle real hard, hustle, hustle. Hustle real hard, hustle, hustle. Go runners, hustle real hard, hustle, hustle. Hustle real hard, hustle, hustle. Go runners, you're the best. Go runners, let's get it. Hustle real hard, hustle, hustle. Hustle real hard, hustle, hustle. Go runners, go runners.